I still remember my first trip abroad. I was 19. I took a small bag, bought a cheap plane ticket, and flew to Istanbul. I didn't know the language. I didn't know the culture, but I had one goal to see something new. That week changed my life. It wasn't just the food, or the ancient buildings, or the sound of the call to prayer from the mosques. I was the feeling. I felt alive. I felt curious again. Every street was a surprise. Every conversation, even in broken English, opened a small window into another life. When I came back home, something inside me had changed. I looked at my city, my country, my culture differently. It was like someone had cleaned my glasses. Everything felt sharper, more real, and more connected. Psychologists say that travel really does change our minds. It's not just in our imagination. Studies from Harvard and Stanford show that travel improves creativity, increases flexibility in thinking, and reduces stress. Why? Because when we go somewhere new, we break our daily habits. Our brains stop running on autopilot. Instead, we start paying attention. We look closer. We listen more. We ask questions. And all of that makes our minds more active and more open. When I visited Japan years later, I saw something beautiful. Every small action, like giving change or greeting a customer, was done with care and respect. It made me think about how I treat people in my own life. Do I take the time? Do I show respect? I wasn't just learning about Japanese culture, I was learning about myself. Many studies say that same thing. Travel increases empathy. Empathy means we can feel what others feel. When we meet people from different cultures, when we see how they live, what they believe, what they eat, our understanding grows. We stop thinking in black and white. We see more colors. A study from the University of Maryland found that people who travel regularly have more tolerance for other cultures and less prejudice. In fact, even short trips to new places can make our thinking more open and less judgmental. I remember one night in Morocco. I was sitting on a rooftop, eating couscous with a local family. We didn't speak the same language, but we laughed. We shared food and we watched the stars. That night, I felt something powerful. I didn't feel like a tourist. I felt like a human being, just like them. Travel is also good for our mental health. Research shows the time away from routine reduces anxiety and helps with depression. When we are in new places, we move more, we think more, we even smile more. The brain releases dopamine, the happy chemical, when we discover something new. Even just planning a trip can increase happiness. A Dutch study found that people feel more joy and excitement in weeks before a trip, just thinking about it, than in the weeks after. Sometimes, when I feel lost in my life, I go back to those memories. Standing at the train station in Spain, eating street food in the Thailand, walking through ruins in Greece. These moments remind me the world is big and I am part of it. It helps me put my problems in perspective. I remember that there are many ways to live, many ways to think, and that gives me peace. In fact, researchers at the University of Southern California say that travel can increase our sense of purpose. When we see new places and meet new people, we feel more connected to the world. That connection helps us understand who we are. The brain loves meaning, and travel gives us that through surprise, connection, and reflection. Travel also makes us more confident. Think about it. You are in a strange country. You get lost. Your phone dies. Nobody speaks your language. And yet, you figure it out. That feeling, I can handle this, is powerful. It doesn't just help in travel, it helps in life. You learn to trust yourself. You become braver. And it's not just regular people like me and you. Many famous thinkers say the same. Mark Twain once said, travel is fatal to prejudice, bigotry, and narrow mindedness. Elizabeth Gilbert, the author of Eat, Pray, Love, said her solo travels helped her heal and understand herself better. Anthony Bourdain, the famous chef and traveler, said, travel isn't always pretty. It isn't always comfortable, but that's okay. The journey changes you. And he was right. So, if you've been thinking about taking that trip, do it. It doesn't have to be far. It doesn't have to be expensive. It just has to be new. Go somewhere you have never been. Talk to someone you don't know. Try food you can't pronounce. Get lost. And while you're out there, pay attention, not just to the world, but to yourself. Because in the end, you might discover that the biggest journey is not just out there, but inside you.